Jens, just earlier this year, you announced that tomorrow or that next year would be your last season, and this is something you've kind of thought about and joked about even for a season or two. But what finally tipped it for you to decide that next year would be your last year as a pro?
Well, everything has to come to an end. That's just the way it goes. And even though I believe I can say I still did the tour the way people wanted me to do it, the team was happy with my performance. I hope I had the chance to entertain the fans on one or two occasions with a breakaway. But I realized it is getting pretty hard. The tour is not only a beautiful race, but it's a pretty hard race also. Downhill at 80 kilometers an hour or faster, fighting for positions in the final. And the final in these days, it seems to start 100 kilometers to go. It already you have to switch into final modus and getting your elbows out and fighting for positions. And I thought, I don't think I'm good enough next year to do another tour. I don't think I'm strong enough physically, but also mentally to support all this responsibility and the stress one more year. And I said, I think it's the time, to listen to your body also. Body has a little ache here and there. Goes like, oh, the back did hurt a little bit. It wasn't like that 5 years ago. And as long as I still enjoy it, and I'm still good at it, I mean, of course, I'm not as strong as I was 5 years or 10 years ago, but I still managed to win a race this year. To win a race this year, I won a race last year, so I'm still amongst it. It would be good to stop on a good note and not be the guy where they say, oh, he did 1 year too much and he was good rider before, but now he's dropped all the time. I don't want that. I would like that it's me who decides, okay, now I've given everything I have and it's time for me to stop. Instead of like people telling you, sorry, Jens, we love you, but there's no contract for you anymore. So I'd rather have the decision in my hand and say, okay, I decided like that. That's how it's going to be. And I'm happy with that. I came to terms, or I sort of like, I have my inner peace with the decision that one more year, and that's good. My wife is happy about it. The kids are happy about it.
Right.
So that's good.
Right. So for the tour, does it look like now that you would do the tour, or no? And if no, do you think you might change your mind as the season goes on next year, depending on how you feel?
Well, I mean, in the tour, you go, oh, no, not again. A week later, you go, it wasn't that bad. So depends. If I have a good winter, the weather's good, I can train, because the last winter was terrible, and with the cold and the snow, ice and rain everywhere. So I was just short on miles coming out of the winter, and I suffered more than I used to suffer before in the first races. And that was a new experience for me. So if they get a good winter in, got some solid miles, and come out of the winter with a solid shape like I should have, and I always had in the last years. Who knows? If the team goes, Jens, we still need you or your experience, I'm the last one to say no. But if in January they say, hey, who wants to go to the tour? I'm not going to raise my arm and say, yes, 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 me, absolutely. So, and also, it's time to pass the torch. There's a lot of young, talented kids, some new riders coming to the team, and, maybe it's a time that, the team, maybe next year they want to bring the young sprinter from us, Giacomo Nisolo. He needs a lead-out sprint or a lead-out team. And I'm not a lead-out guy, I'm like fighting there, with the knife between the teeth in the last 5 kilometers for positions. Sorry, I passed that point 5 years ago. So maybe it's time that the team, gets a new face, changes around, and I just help him with my experience, still close a few gaps, and chasing down a few groups for them, bringing the boys some water bottles and get them out of the wind. But the tour, no, I would say very probably not.
You've had a very long, successful career. What do you look back on as some of your favorite moments?
Favorite moments? There's a few. It was a long career indeed, and I couldn't point only at one moment to say, 2008 winning Tour de France with Carlos Sastre. We won a team's classification. All 9 of us were standing there on the Champs-Élysées on this podium. Carlos Sastre in yellow in the middle of us. Beautiful sunlight, the Arc de Triomphe as the background. And that was one of the moments where I thought, it can't get much better than that. Maybe I should just retire here and there, because it can't go much better. Then, of course, winning Criterium International 5 times, equalizing the record of somebody like Jacques Anquetil. The Tour of Germany was always great wins. There's a few good moments I had in my career, but also some tough moments, of course. It's not always all sunshine.
Right. Have you given much thought now to what you'll be doing afterward? I mean, most of our fans, I think, know Jens Voigt as a professional bike racer. What are they going to see you here now? Are you going to be behind the wheel of a team car? Are you going to work for a company? Or are you going to, go do something completely different?
I was actually exploring my options. If I can charge everybody $1, whoever uses Shutter Black saying it, hey, I would beat Bill Gates in a year. But not serious. Yes, we do have some, or I do have some options. I have to some pretty promising talks, and I might stay very close connected to the team and also to track the company, and might start working with them a little more. To develop new bikes, test new bikes, or promote the new bikes. So I'm not afraid of the future. There's enough options there, and it's also an adventure, to change directions in your life after so many years doing the same thing. You can say, changing directions, see something new, and widen your horizon and getting out of the usual routine and feel also challenged a little bit to achieve something in your new job. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. Last question is looking at the immediate future. Last year you won the stage here to Beaver Creek. What might we see from you in the immediate future here at this race?
I think we have two guys here. They look pretty promising for the GC. It was Andreas Klöden today in training. He looked pretty comfortable. George Bennett is in good shape. And my job will be probably more to protect them, to help them. But if one day we need to create some chaos and stress in a race, they probably might get me off the leash and so go Jens, do what you can, just make everybody suffer. So hopefully I get a chance to do that once, maybe not on the first day. I think it's a little bit like, checking the competition to see how good is TJ, how good is, Team Garmin with Danielson. They're going to check us, how good is Klöden, how good is, George Bennett. So a little bit checking the competition on the first day, not losing time. And from there on, then we see how it goes.